I'm Graeme McLoughlin from BBC Suffolk, and it's a privilege for me to be here at Framlingham College to host this latest In Conversation podcast. And we have a packed room here at the college, a packed studio for very talented athletes and students with me now. Should we go around? Let's go around the table and just get some intros from you first of all. And I'll start with Zoe to my left.
My name is Zoe. I'm in Year 12 at the college and I play squash to a relatively high level.
Relatively high level, being very modest. We'll come back to that. Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I joined the college this year in Year 12 and my sport of choice is rugby.
You say you joined the college this year?
Yeah, I joined the college this year in Year 12.
Oh, we'll come back to how you're finding that. Sorry, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex and I also joined the college this year. I'm in Year 12 and I play hockey and netball, but my main focus is hockey.
And hi, I'm Harry. I joined in Year 9 and my two main sports are cricket and hockey.
Okay, thank you, Harry. Well, let's come to Will and Alex first of all then. How are you finding it? You're relatively new to Framlingham College, but this isn't a bad place to be, is it?
No, so I've really enjoyed my first year. It was quite easy settling in because I knew a lot of people and that actually came through the connections I had through hockey and through sports that I did outside school, so it made it quite easy to settle in.
Yeah, I think this year coming in's been great. I didn't know anyone, but then joining here and then being part of the rugby team, I easily got to know people and got in around everyone at the college. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it's a very, very welcoming place.
Yeah, definitely. A very warm place, I think.
That's good to hear. Zoe, let's come back to you in your modesty first of all, because you introduced yourself and said you play squash to a reasonably high level. Tell us a bit about that, your journey in the sport. When did you first pick up a racket, first of all?
So that's quite interesting, actually. There was a local club, Ipswich Sports Club on Henley Road, and their squash coach came to my primary school and did a setup with sponge balls and junior rackets, and we played in our school hall for a term, which was a mess. And then we got taken to the club for the next 2 terms, and I believe we got offered a deal on the membership if we stayed on. And that was when I was 8, and I turned 17 in 2 weeks, and I haven't stopped yet. And in that time, I began competing at junior tournaments aged about 12. And since COVID, we've really stepped it up a level. I've gotten into the regional squad, so I believe that's the East of England region. And I've been competing not only at the highest levels in the country, but I've been doing a few international tournaments as well to try and get my ranking up higher across Europe.
What's that first tour, going back to the age of 12, and competing when the tournaments actually became something important and meant something? How did you naturally take to those? Were there nerves?
I think there were definitely nerves, but because I was more excited than anything because it was so new, and I believe the first tournament I did was as a county team, so we had the support of the 2 other girls in the team that I knew that I'd grown up with for the past 4 years, so it was quite an easy transition for me because I had that support.
And Ipswich Sports Club as well, you'll know all about Lucy Tamel, who I guess is a squash player locally you'd love to follow in the footsteps of.
Absolutely. I mean, growing up, you'd see her all the time with her massive headphones on, training on her own 90% of the time because she just spent so much time at the club training, doing solo, doing the really boring but very important hard work. And I think definitely that was someone who I looked up to, and I still do. Yeah,
incredible year, obviously, for her last year, getting to a Commonwealth Games for the first time. And is that a similar vision for you? Or I don't like asking those questions, to be honest, but it's kind of as a sports journalist, it's the one you go for. What's the ultimate goal?
Yeah, so it's a bit difficult with squash in that you have the different levels. You have regional and you have England, and in between there's something called Aspire. Now, unfortunately, because when I turn 17, I'll no longer be eligible for Aspire, and it makes that gap between regional and the England squad so much bigger. So that is going to be a difficult gap to jump. But if I do it, I mean, that would be an incredible experience. We know a woman, Lisa Aitken, who is one of Scotland's best players, and she also competed in the Commonwealth Games. And so speaking with her about her experience of the Games, it just looked utterly phenomenal, the feeling of pride you get for representing your country. And luckily enough, I could either represent for England or Australia because I have dual nationality. So if I chose to, and if I found that route easier, then potentially that could be what I look to do.
That's a tough decision. This bizarre. We're recording this as well with the Ashes going on.
Yes.
So how do you choose between England and Australia?
Well, normally it's who's winning, but I'm really good friends with a brilliant cricket player in our house, and I'm not totally familiar with cricket, so she's translating it for me, so to speak. And mainly to annoy her, I'm supporting Australia at the minute, but I'm sure that will change if England do exceedingly well.
Let's hope they do. Alex, Harry, tell me about hockey at Framlingham College. It's brilliant here, isn't it, for hockey?
Yeah, so one of the main reasons I came to Fram rather than any other school was the hockey. I mean, obviously I knew people who came to Fram from PC, which I were friends with, and obviously Mr. Kingston, who set up this amazing hockey programme. And it's kind of exceeded all my expectations in my first year. It's been a real privilege to play kind of at this level.
I speak to so many players, particularly at Ipswich. And also, I guess, if you think about Hannah Martin, who's doing great things for both Great Britain and England, she's often come back here to coach alongside Jamie when she gets the time. But there's this rich history of players from Framlingham seamlessly slotting into clubs. You mentioned, you're obviously playing for Harleston.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, Mr. Kingston, is the level of expertise and coaching he provides the school is just immense, and I think he'll be hugely missed this year when he leaves. But yeah.
Looking forward to Lisa Letchford, isn't it, who's coming in as the new head of hockey. So as one kind of great mentor leaves, another comes in, but you must be looking forward to working with her.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with her when she came to the college. She seems really focused, knows what she wants to do, and it's looking to be a bright future for the boys hockey as well, as well as the girls hockey.
Excellent. How long have you both been playing?
So I've played since I was about 4, in which I started at Norwich City Hockey Club, or maybe a bit later than that. And then as I got older, I transitioned down here to Harleston Magpies, to Fram, and the PC Centre, which are all around Bury, sort of, the Suffolk area, more so than the Norfolk area.
Did you, with both of you, did you naturally take to the sport? Were you pretty much good at it right away? You're nodding.
Yeah, I think compared to something like music, sports come very naturally to me. If I was picking up a musical instrument, it wouldn't sound very good. Yeah. So, in terms of that, sports come quite naturally, which has also made it a lot easier to integrate with different sort of people. That's what made, when I came in Year 9 to Fram, easier, because I play with a lot of people at Magpies.
It's fantastic to have that environment where sports people here can thrive. But more people kind of playing at such a big level. Coming back to you, Alex, similar to Harry, were you as young as 4 when you started?
Yeah, I think I was about 4 actually when I started playing. So I started playing at Cambridge City. So I was at school in Cambridge. I live in Cambridge, and then obviously as I've got older, I played there up until about 2 years ago. Then I moved to Fram and moved to Harleston Magpies, and I've also been in like the Bury PC setup. It's always been. I actually started playing hockey and netball from a really young age, and it's kind of been a balance between those two. And then as I got older, I kind of had to start to pick which one I wanted. Wow. And it was hockey. So
it was hockey, yeah, brilliant. And it must really whet the appetite. I've spoken to Georgie Gardens here, who's been involved in the England setup. His sister doing great things as well. I've already mentioned Hannah Martin, Harry Martin, who came through Ipswich School, but the county has a really proud history of players coming through the ranks and taking it all the way to international level. Is that kind of the goal with both of you guys? Yeah,
no, definitely. And I think having those kind of aspiring players that are so closely connected to the college, especially, like you talk of Beth and Georgie Gardens, I think that really sets aspirations for me. Yeah. Is achievable.
Will, coming to you, I think one of the first times I came to Framlingham College was to interview a rugby player who's all grown up now, and I'm not sure whether he competes anymore, but his name was Charlie Precious. I'll never forget that. Quite a unique name. Yeah. But at the time, Framlingham College had a great tradition of rugby, and that's the same.
Yeah,
here.
Definitely. I think the phrase I'd use is probably we're on the up again. Yeah. We reached the dizzy heights of fourth at one point this year, but that tailed off towards the end of the season due to sort of injuries and stuff. But definitely with a year below, so the under-16s coming in this year, we're gonna really try and challenge for some things, because there's some great talent in and around the squad that should improve the side, hopefully. So
Harry and Alex have touched on their relationship with James Kingstone, and looking forward to a new one with Lisa Letchford. Your story is interesting, really, with, I guess, your coach, one of your tutors here, Cameron Greenhall, because actually the fact that he's just come here recently means you're going to perhaps play for him at some point at Sudbury.
Yeah, he's been brilliant since coming in. So he came in this year properly as well as me. So we've really had sort of loads of time to bond, and we have loads of time together with our one-to-one sessions. And then hopefully the plan will be next year to start playing men's rugby for Sudbury, the local side, obviously in the Suffolk area, which he's the head coach of, and his father's at as well. So that's the pathway at the moment to go and then try and step up another level there. So
fantastic. Yeah. Coming back to you, Zoe, how, and all of you, it's an open question, really. I know how busy this period of your lives is with exams, and you're year 12 now, so there's going to be more to come, more important ones to come in year 13 as well. But you're all excelling in your chosen sports. How do you manage it? How do you kind of that balance between work and sport?
Frankly, I didn't at first. I also came to the college in year 12, so the structure of Saturday school was very new to me. And beyond that, the jump from year 11 to year 12 was huge in the expected workload. And so in the first few weeks, I was quite lucky in that my tutor is one of my biology teachers, and I would go to her and say, I'm struggling, and we would take approaches of, okay, what can we miss out for now? How can we reorder this? And then the past few months, I've made myself have a diary to make sure that I have all my due dates written in the day before for all my homeworks. And it's really been about taking the responsibility onto myself. And I've found then my organisation has been a lot better. So if I have homework due on Saturday, I'll hand it in on Friday if I'm not going to be there. And the system the school has, by recording all of its notes on OneNote instead of having a physical whiteboard, having the electronic whiteboards, has really helped, because I can go through full lessons with all the notes to catch me up on what I've missed. So that's how I've dealt with it so far, and I really hope with the year 13 it will continue to happen. But I do know I'm going to have to slow down a little with the tournaments and target only the high level ones.
But those conversations with tutors, having a problem initially, it sounds like the college were, adaptable to your needs.
Entirely. The teachers were, I wouldn't say fine with me missing lessons, but they were receptive, and they gave me everything I needed to catch up. And when I was struggling, my tutor was fantastic with it. She really gave me the support I needed.
Alex, Harry, similar stories with yourself?
Yeah, so I would say the best way to sort of manage it is sort of the class size. So for me, in a lot of my classes, I've got quite small, connected groups of people. So I've got one which I've got 3 people in, and then the highest is something like 10. So you develop sort of a more intimate relationship with your teachers than you would if you're at GCSE with 20 people in your class, and it's more lesson to lesson rather than teaching these specific groups of people, if you know what I mean. So it's a lot easier to sort of work around with your teachers. They're a lot more flexible. You can go and see them at other times. It's just a lot easier to sort of manage everything around the lessons, because it's in some of my lessons it's more like a one-on-one rather than 20 on one.
Yeah. That sounds good, one-on-one, isn't it? Yeah. Alex, likewise, does it ever become, I guess if it ever becomes too much, it's good to know that you have the staff on support to help?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I'm hoping to apply to do medicine at university. So I think it's especially important that I kind of have that balance between my academics and my sport. But I mean, the staff are always really helpful, really engaging with any concerns you have. And I think even the sport teachers, I mean, I know I've gone to one of the sport teachers before, and they've helped me organise my time. If I need to miss a session, that's fine. And also, like, academically, we have hubs at allocated times for each subject, which are really helpful with catching up or going through stuff with your teacher one-on-one.
It's really interesting. You say you're going to do medicine, so a nice, easy subject to take to. But I guess that throws in kind of another spanner in the works. And do you stop playing hockey at that point if you're studying medicine? Does there come a point when you have to think, right, I'm going to choose, academia over my sport?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's something I have been thinking about recently. I think I don't want to stop playing. I think maybe I might have to reduce the volume that I am playing, but I'm hoping to continue to keep going with that.
Yeah. And whereabout would you study medicine?
I'm not entirely sure yet. I went to look at Bristol this weekend and really liked there. So
that's another thing as well that you've kind of got to do at the moment, Will, isn't it? You're not only are you playing sport, you're studying here, but you've got decisions like that in the longer term. Universities, where to go, and like Alex says, even just arranging a day to go and look around a university, that's a day that could have been a revision day.
Yeah, there's loads going on at the moment, but the school really helps with that, I feel. So my plan is to join the army and hopefully go to Sandhurst. So I've been doing all of the medicals and stuff at the moment like that, and straight away the school have put that first because it's really important to me. And if I'm asking to miss lessons or miss a day off school to go and do that or look around, they're 100% with me all the way and will support me to do that. So it's great.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I've always kind of said on the radio there must be something in the water at Framlingham College, the amount of talented athletes it produces. But it's been great to kind of get a flavour as to you're obviously very talented people, but you've got that support in there as well. Likewise, Zoe, does there come a time when you have to value squash above studies? We look at your ranking at the moment at junior level, and it's very, very encouraging.
Yes, so this year my academics and my studies have always come first, and that has always been my priority. So, for example, there was a major tournament last weekend and we knew we wouldn't target it because it was right in the middle of my exams. And next year that will become more of a priority, but this year we have definitely taken advantage of my time to try and boost my ranking to get it to the high level, to break into top 10 in the country, which was a huge and surprising achievement. And it definitely was at the cost of some of my academics, but I really feel that I've had the time and the support to bring that back up to where it should be. So that's been quite useful. And the Fram has really helped me figure out where that balance is and how to maintain it.
Mm. I always think, talking to you is fascinating because, everybody, we're predominantly looking at team sports, I guess. But do you have any kind of sympathy with Zoe, the fact that she's on her own here?
Yeah. But then also it's quite nice because you can actually practice alone as well.
Absolutely.
And you can get better on yourself without relying on having other people there. But yeah, it mustn't be as fun on your own.
I'm actually quite lucky because we have these training squads together, so we'll do lots of training together, and I've got a group of kids around a similar age that we train with, and that are linked between Essex and Suffolk, and we went to Sweden and we went to Germany together. So we've been very lucky in that respect that we have a team, but we don't have the expectation on each other with performance. It's just you on that court. So we have the support, but as you say, we do get the opportunity to train alone, which does make things a little easier.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch finally, I guess, on the spirit around Framlingham College as well. I was earlier this afternoon recording a piece about David Larter, a former international cricketer who, his journey began here in Framlingham back in back in the 1950s, 1960s. There's going to be a great event celebrating him and a bit of the school's history, the college's history this weekend, where you're going to have cricketers playing at the same event as hockey players as well. And is there It's a real supportive vibe. Will you get the cricket players support and the rugby players and things like that, Will?
Yeah, there's a massive connection. I mean, with our S&C sessions, we're all in the gym together a lot. So obviously we have our own team sports, and then we'll all come together and do that because we're like-minded people who are trying to improve in various sports. And then the connections with the various coaches as well. So, for example, Mr. Gandhi, who's the director of sport and sort of overlooking everything, he's really involved with everyone. So, yeah, it really brings everyone together, I feel, and there's a whole team atmosphere around Framlingham and not just your individual teams.
Yeah. And Alex, just coming to you, obviously attached to Harleston Magpies, but you talk to the Ipswich hockey contingent here, don't you? You're
So there is actually a few girls who, there's kind of a split, half us play for Magpies, half us play for Ipswich. So yeah, no, we're all friends off the pitch.
That's good to hear. Well, look, it's been great chatting to you and finding a little bit about your journeys in sport to date. Wish you all the best with those going forward. And I guess for this academic year, exams are over now. Can we relax a little bit?
Yeah, last 2 weeks, lots of sport and not as many lessons.
Lots of sport, and then bring on summer and enjoy it. Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.